up, because my name is PurpipesAT, and I just watched this amazing documentary on National Geographic. It's called The 80's, the decade that made us. It was so good, and I decided to do a vlog off of it, obviously, because I don't have the editing software, so I couldn't get the actual show off of my TV to my tablet, so I can record a couple of the things. So I'm sorry that I couldn't do that. I wish I could, but I can't because my editing software doesn't work that way. So, it was amazing. So basically, it kind of just described, it was basically kind of based on the U.S., but it was during the middle of it, because that's when, like, everything started to happen around the world. That's when the 80's kind of started to go all around the world. It was just awesome. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. But there was a couple of things, like, because so many classics that we see today came from the 80's. Like the Rubik's Cube, that's coming back. It's big back. Tetris, I still find that relevant. It might not to other people, I still find that relevant. David Hasselhoff, even though he's not as popular as he was back in the 80's, he really was. He's not even popular now, is he? I don't know. I don't think he is. Calvin Klein, I think that's what it was. It was a clothing brand. He did jeans, and then he started doing underwear. He started Fruit of the Loom. I thought, yeah, so a lot of things came from the 80's. That's the same with Tony Hawk. He has to be still relevant. I know I'm not the biggest thing of, like, oh, I don't know what's relevant anymore. But I know Tony Hawk still is. And that's when skateboarding and a lot of the brands came out. It was just, in my opinion, and at the end of it and everything, and in the 80's at the end, that's when the Berlin Wall came down. That was a very big accomplishment because the Soviet Union was it just fell. If you don't know what the Soviet Union was, best I can explain it from my knowledge. It's basically it was a dynasty, like a Chinese dynasty, but not really. The Soviet Union was obviously in Russia, and it was just look up the Berlin Wall and the fall of it, or look up the series, the 80's, the decade that made us. Look that up or something, so you guys get more of a broad spectrum of it. But God, it was awesome. But this one actress at the end of it, she said nothing. You can't replicate the 80's, but I think that's different. I honestly think we can do that again. In my opinion, I think 2020, that decade, is going to be an amazing decade. At least I think so. Because in the U.S., we'll get rid of Donald Trump, hopefully, so he doesn't do another term. If not, we only have to deal with him for 4 more years, and he legally can't do it again, which is nice. I know I don't like to, even though I'm still new to all this, I'm going to try not to talk a lot about politics, because I know sometimes that's like, who cares about politics? But, yeah, I'll try not to do that, but if it, like, yeah. But yeah, I honestly think, we can't absolutely do the 80's again. I know that. Because that was we can't do the same things again. We're able to bring them back, but we can't do them again like they did. But I honestly think because we're still a lot of people are still entrepreneuring and everything. So we still kind of are in the 80's. The 80's just was a backdrop and everything. It kind of started what we know and love today. So the 80's was a very big part of everything. Like bringing the world together and everything. That was one thing that was really important. So, yeah, I think that the 80's is very important, but I think we can kind of replicate it if we all of us honestly try. I honestly think we can do that. So I hope you guys all agree with me. You guys don't have to or anything like that, but I honestly think we can. Because it's still, in some aspects, it's still the 1980s. Because we're still making, regular people are about to go into space, like space tours, and we're working on that. It's awesome. We're still working on a lot of things. And the 1980s is one thing. That's a big example. No matter what everybody's going through and everything, you can band together. You can make a difference. At least I think so. So I hope the 2020 era, like that decade, I honestly hope it's gonna be a lot better. Because I know this decade, well, from my point of view, I don't think it's been that great. But I honestly think that 2020 and that decade's gonna be an amazing year. Amazing decade. I honestly think so. We can make it an amazing decade if we all band together. As I said, some people think that 1980s can't be duplicated. I agree with that it can't be absolutely duplicated. But we can try, and I honestly think we can do a pretty damn good job of it. So yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, please let me know and just smash that like button. Oh god, that sounds so much like Jacksepticeye. Sorry! I'm not trying to. And if you want to, please subscribe. Everything's down below. If you have any, recommendations for videos I should do, please just let me know in the comments. Anything I can change in my power, I will try to. But yeah. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Deuces!